New Orleans Saints lead 7-0 over the Carolina Panthers in the 2022-23 regular season finale. Brendan Boylan here with my buddy, my partner in crime, Bob Rose. And Bob, there's a couple ways you could take this first half. You could take it in a positive light or a negative light. The positive light is there's been more opportunities for the New Orleans Saints in this game than maybe any game all year, both offensively and defensively. At least in the first half. And the negative side of that is, well, they haven't capitalized on a lot of them. You saw there at the end of the half, Chris Olave fumble inside of the red zone, and what could have been an opportunity for the Saints to come away with some more points. Will Lutz missed a field goal. Saints come up short on a 4th and 1. I'm personally going to take some of the positives of, well, the offense has actually generated some opportunities and used Alvin Kamara the way they should have all year long. I take it you take this a little differently.
Well, why you got to assume that, Brendan? Listen, we're seeing exactly why the New Orleans Saints are not a playoff team this season. Squandered opportunities, just not making the biggest difference-making plays when they need to. You rolled down. I mean, this team should be ahead minimum 16-0 right now. I don't mind going for it on 4th and 1. I don't agree with the play call. I would have run a Prentice plunge. And really, Saints fans, I will take it upon myself for you this offseason to tell you how many 3rd and short or 4th and short plays that the New Orleans Saints have had this season where Taysom Hill has not been in the game. I'm not saying I would have used them. Like I said, the execution, they were just whipped at the line of scrimmage on that one. Lutz misses his 7th field goal of the year. Something ain't right with him. Olave trying to make extra yardage. You have to hold on to the football and just get down to the ground in that situation. He's a rookie. He'll learn from that. And even Davenport. Davenport could have had 2 sacks, a minimum, maybe 3. But we're seeing why the New Orleans Saints will not re-sign Marcus Davenport this offseason, because Davenport, his entire career, has been that close. His entire career. It's the microcosm of the 2022-23 New Orleans Saints season. Now, having said that, I think the defense has played an outstanding first half. The offense has mixed up their play calling. Andy Dalton went a little bit cold after a really hot start, but the receivers are getting open. You mentioned them using Kamara in the right way, and in different ways, excuse me. And let's not overlook a reshuffled and battered New Orleans offensive line really holding their own at the line of scrimmage. So there are a lot of positives to take out of this as well.
Oh, I definitely said Kamara the right way, not different ways, the right way, at least in my opinion. Now, the one thing that we didn't mention was Andy Dalton missing Taysom Hill wide open.
Yeah.
For what would have been a touchdown.
Squandered opportunity. Right.
I think that's you said microcosm of the season. I think that play is the perfect microcosm of the offense this season. Just missing opportunities. Sitting and watching, the first thing I thought of is they don't have that killer instinct. And John Butler puts this comment out here, right? How is the 7-0 letting the Panthers stick around? That's exactly what I'm thinking. They don't have the killer instinct to try to put this away, or at least get enough of a lead to put it away. Now, the defense played pretty well. I think there was only, to go back and check because of that final drive, but no, I was right. Only 4 passing yards for the Carolina Panthers. I think the Saints have done a very good job defensively. I like that they're making me look good and saying they're going to win the turnover battle because of the Tyrann Mathieu interception. Of course, a couple plays later, they made me look bad and fumbled the football. But nonetheless, I think the defense is doing more than enough for this team. Offensively, frustrating. Defensively, you could have counted, and Bob alluded to it, there's probably 3-4 sacks the Saints should have had in the first half. So how do the Saints close this one out? Bob, I'll leave that to you. How do the Saints close this one out?
Just like our friend John Butler pointed out, if the game is only 7-0 and Carolina's getting the ball first in the second half, you need to keep up your defensive momentum. You are getting into the Panthers' backfield. You have Sam Darnold flustered and running for his life. You need to keep that up. You need to prevent. Granted, Donta Foreman got a couple of runs, but he's a hard-nosed back. He's going to get his. You need to keep coming up big, making the tackles. The Saints have, knock on wood, the Saints have missed very few tackles. You need to finish plays. You have the Carolina offense down. You got to keep them down. Keep doing what you're doing, but close out the opportunities when you get that chance. And you could say the same thing about it offensively. At New Orleans, continue to keep the Panthers on your toes. I mean, for God's sake, the last 3 weeks we have seen this offense go into a complete shell. And not take any chances whatsoever with a slim lead. You're looking at the same scenario today. I think if you do that, you could lose this football game. So you have to stay aggressive on both sides of the football.
Absolutely. Now, Alvin Kamara, 14 carries in the first half. A little surprising there. Had over 50 yards in the first quarter. Would you like to see the Saints change it up a little bit? The broadcast has brought up multiple times now. Kamara's not really your run up the middle and fight aggressively for yards. It's where they really miss Mark Ingram. Would you like to see the Saints, whether it Taysom Hill, whether it David Johnson or Benjamin, try to create a little bit more of a 1-2 punch with Kamara in the second half? Or are you okay with what they've been doing with Alvin?
I'm okay with what they're doing so far because they're getting pushed at the line of scrimmage, but it wouldn't surprise me if Taysom had more rushing opportunities in the first half. But right now you are getting Kamara into the second level of the defense. It's not the way we like to see Alvin Kamara get into the open field. We're used to that on swing passes, wheel routes, and pitch plays. But if you can get him into the second level just by those interior runs, and off tackle, zone blocking schemes, he is going to bust a big one. He's already broken one for, I think, 25, 27, 23 yards, something like that. It's that kind of play that you can see, you can almost see coming. But you can't go into a shell. You have to keep that Panthers defense on their heels with your passing game as well. Otherwise, it's just not going to work.
Now, on the other side, running the football, the Panthers did start finding some energy behind Foreman and Hubbard. 64 yards on the ground for the Panthers in the first half. That's where they like to get their offense clicking and churning, is by finding success in the run game. You mentioned they get the ball to start the second half. How does New Orleans come out and ensure that rushing game doesn't get this offense going?
Just continue to collapse the line of scrimmage. The Panthers don't have a back like Christian McCaffrey anymore. Chuba Hubbard is a good back, but he's no Christian McCaffrey. It's Donta Foreman, or even inside runs with Hubbard that are going to get this offense going. Right now, the Saints are holding their own. I mean, my God, I haven't seen David Onyemata play this good since 2020. You have to keep winning those battles. Look for Demario Davis and Caden Ellis to be a little bit more aggressive coming up into those gaps too, both as blitzers and as run stuffers.
We'll see what the New Orleans Saints have in the second half defensively, see if the offense can capitalize on some of those opportunities. Do note that we saw injuries to both starting guards for the Carolina Panthers in the first half. Real quick, Bob, where can everybody follow you and the podcast moving forward into the offseason?
Folks, thanks for tuning in to our pregame and halftime shows today. Follow me on Facebook, Bob Rose, ROSE. I'm on Twitter at Bobby R 2613, and make sure, like Brendan said, that you follow our Bayou Blitz podcast every Wednesday night, and we'll continue through the off season as well.
You keep saying at Twitter. I don't think it's an accident at this point. Bob is running for CEO of Twitter. I'm going to make it official. You can follow me, BT Boylan, on Instagram and Twitter. Guys, until Wednesday, happy off season. See if the Saints can pull it out and go to 8-9 on the season. I'm Brendan Boylan. That's Bob Rose. Find your peace, spread love, practice positivity. We'll see you later.